In the South China Sea lies a small, mostly submerged reef, Ayungin Shoal to the Philippines, Jiao to China. This unremarkable spot is now a major flashpoint between two nations. Its location is crucial, inside the Philippines' exclusive economic zone, in waters rich with resources and strategic value. The South China Sea is a global artery for trade, making control over even a tiny shoal a matter of sovereignty and security. For the Philippines, Ayungin is a stand against what it sees as China's aggressive expansion. The dispute is a test of international law and the resolve of a smaller nation. Tensions have escalated, with more Chinese ships crowding the area and confrontations growing riskier. The Philippines accuses China of harassment. China claims the Philippines is trespassing. The world is watching because what happens here could reshape the rules of the sea. At the heart of the standoff, a grounded warship, swarms of vessels, and a struggle for control. This is about more than territory. It's about the future of the South China Sea. The events at Ayungin Shoal signal a new, more dangerous phase in a long-running dispute. The stakes are high for both countries, and for every nation that relies on open seas. Understanding this conflict means looking at the actions, not just the claims. It's a story of power, pride, and the rules that govern the world's busiest waters. The Philippines sees Ayungin as a line in the sand. China sees it as a test of its regional dominance. The outcome here could set the tone for the entire region. The world is holding its breath. The latest alarm at Ayungin Shoal is the surge of Chinese ships, over 24, according to the Philippine Coast Guard. This is no accident, it's a coordinated show of force, with China Coast Guard and maritime militia vessels swarming the area. These ships aren't just passing through, they're staying, patrolling, and crowding out Philippine forces. Analysts call it a swarm tactic, designed to intimidate and overwhelm. The result? A de facto blockade, making Philippine operations and resupply missions perilous. Fishermen are pushed out, and the risk of confrontation rises with every close encounter. China's message is clear. We're here, and we're not leaving. The Philippine military sees this as an aggressive move to wear down their resolve. By maintaining a constant, overwhelming presence, China is trying to establish control, regardless of international law. The swarm is a tool of coercion, changing the facts on the water without firing a shot. The Philippine government protests, but the ships keep coming. The imbalance of power is stark, and the world is watching how the Philippines and its allies will respond. Each new ship is a reminder of China's sweeping claims over the South China Sea. The blockade is more than a tactic, it's a statement of intent. The question now, how far will China go, and how will the Philippines push back? The standoff is a test of will, not just of strength. The future of Ayungin Shoal and the region hangs in the balance. The world is watching every move. China's actions at Ayungin Shoal are part of a broader plan to assert dominance in the South China Sea. The 9-line claim overlaps with the exclusive economic zones of several countries, including the Philippines. For China, Ayungin is sovereign territory. The Philippine outpost is an illegal occupation. The swarm of ships is a key tactic in what's called gray zone warfare, aggressive moves that stop short of open conflict. China uses its Coast Guard and maritime militia to harass and blockade while maintaining plausible deniability. The goal cut off Philippine Marines, prevent resupply, and force a withdrawal through attrition. Any attempt to reinforce the grounded ship is met with resistance. This is about power, resources, and strategic advantage in a vital waterway. By dominating Ayungin, China sends a message to its neighbors and the US. It's the regional power. The standoff is a calculated move in a long-term geopolitical chess game. Control here means control over resources and influence over the rules of the sea. The struggle at Ayungin is just one piece of a much larger contest. Despite overwhelming odds, the Philippines refuses to back down. The government condemns China's actions and steps up patrols to protect its outpost. Resupply missions to Ayungin Shoal have become acts of defiance, with small Philippine boats facing off against larger Chinese ships. These encounters are documented and shared globally, rallying international support. The Philippines leans on its alliance with the United States, conducting joint exercises and modernizing its navy. The goal: build a credible deterrent and show China it's not alone. Public support is strong. Filipino sailors are seen as heroes defending national pride. The government's resolve is fueled by this unity. The Philippines asserts its rights under international law, determined to hold its ground. It's a David versus Goliath struggle, and the outcome is far from certain. The world is watching to see if resolve can stand up to power. At the heart of the conflict is the BRP Sierra Madre, a rusting World War II ship, grounded on Ayungin Shoal since 1999. It's a barely habitable outpost for a handful of Philippine Marines, but its symbolic value is immense. For the Philippines, the Sierra Madre is a flag on the reef, a physical claim to sovereignty. China sees it as an illegal structure and demands its removal, enforcing a blockade to starve out the Marines and prevent repairs. The ship is deteriorating, and China's strategy is to wait it out, hoping the outpost collapses. Life aboard is harsh and isolated, but the Marines' mission is simple: stay put and keep the claim alive. Each successful resupply is a small victory for the Philippines. The fate of the Sierra Madre mirrors the fate of the dispute itself. If the ship stands, so does the Philippine claim. If it falls, China wins a major victory. This decaying vessel has become a powerful symbol of resistance, and a major obstacle for China. It's proof that even a small, battered ship can shape a geopolitical struggle. The world's attention is fixed on this unlikely battleground. The Sierra Madre's future is the future of Ayungin Shoal. Tensions at Ayungin Shoal are no longer just diplomatic, they're dangerously real. Confrontations between Chinese and Philippine vessels are frequent and increasingly physical. Water cannons, blockades, and risky maneuvers have led to collisions and near misses. Chinese ships use powerful water cannons to disable Philippine boats, aiming to turn them back without firing a shot. These tactics are hazardous, damaging equipment and endangering lives. Both sides document every encounter, battling for control of the narrative online and in the media. China claims the Philippines is intruding. The Philippines shows footage of unprovoked aggression. The real risk is borne by the crews. One mistake could spark a deadly conflict. The standoff has shifted from words to dangerous actions. Each close call is a reminder of how fragile peace is in these waters. The world is watching, hoping the next incident doesn't become a flashpoint. The stakes have never been higher. The world is watching Ayungin Shoal, and the stakes are global. The Philippines has brought its case to the international stage, seeking support and pressure on China. The US has reaffirmed its defense treaty with the Philippines, condemning China's actions and increasing its military presence. Joint patrols and freedom of navigation operations challenge China's claims. Other regional countries, Vietnam, Malaysia, Brunei, see the Philippines struggle as a test case for their own disputes. ASEAN is pushing for a code of conduct, but progress is slow. A 2016 international tribunal ruling favored the Philippines, but China rejects it. The standoff is a test of whether international law or raw power will prevail. The outcome here will set a precedent for the region and the world. A key part of China's strategy is its maritime militia, hundreds of state-backed fishing boats acting as a paramilitary force. These vessels, larger and tougher than typical fishing boats, swarm disputed areas to assert China's claims. The militia blurs the line between civilian and military, making it hard for other countries to respond. They form blockades, trail foreign ships, and overwhelm smaller fleets. At Ayungin Shoal, they work with the China Coast Guard to create a multi-layered blockade. The tactic is patient and persistent, changing the status quo without open conflict. The US and others are calling out this strategy, but countering it is difficult. The militia's presence makes normal activity impossible for the Philippines. It's a tool of coercion that's hard to stop without risking escalation. The maritime militia is one of the most complex challenges to regional security. The world is only beginning to grasp its impact. The future at Ayungin Shoal is uncertain and volatile. The standoff could drag on, with more close calls and rising risks. Escalation is a constant danger. One collision could trigger a wider conflict, possibly drawing in the US. A diplomatic breakthrough seems unlikely, but international pressure could ease tensions. Nationalist sentiment on both sides makes compromise difficult. The dispute is about more than territory. It's about the rule of law and the freedom of the seas. If might prevails over right, the entire international system is at risk. The world must push for dialogue and restraint. The fate of this tiny reef will send a message about the future of global order. The world is watching, and the stakes could not be higher.